Alright guys, so before we start this video, kind of been deviating from the original part of why we started this channel. Is this beauty. It's still around, still running. Just been busy, haven't been able to really drive it and enjoy it lately. I actually took it and gave it a good once over as far as cleaning today, so it's shining like it should. And as you can see too, we are making moves with the silver car here. We're almost ready to do Tanner's video. We got his exhaust on, for now at least. His is ready to go with the body kit. I'm still looking for someone who's interested, who has a completely stock car that is interested in doing a cold air intake setup, that's willing to bring their car here to do some testing with me. If any of you are interested, let me know in the comments. Hit me up on social media, Facebook, Insta, whatever. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do some on-the-road testing from the stock ram air, a short ram intake, and the full cold air. On this topic, I get asked tuning. So what I'm gonna show you today is both HP tuners and DHP tuning, which are the two options that we have to modify our PCMs in these cars. So let's go ahead and take a closer look and give you guys an idea of what it looks like to tune these cars, scan these cars. Let's dive into it. Alright, so to start off, here's what your PCM looks like. What I do, so I use both HP tuners and DHP. Both have their positives, negatives. HP tuners is readily available, DHP isn't so much. Keep that in mind. Basically what I do now, for the most part, is some remote tuning. Power supply, here's our little brain box, and this hooks up to the PCM. I'll plug whatever interface into here, because there's your OBD, in a laptop, and I can tune PCMs right here. Don't have to go in the car, don't have to plug it into a car, don't have to keep removing, adding, you know, I can have it ready to go, throw it in the car. So that's a PCM. So here's HP tuners, MPVI2, so this is version 2. The old one was a little bulkier. So this is nice, it does have a Bluetooth wireless function. It also has a black box feature, basically, from what I'm told. Haven't really messed with it all that much yet, but that's some of the features that this comes with. This little guy plugs into your OBD2 port, and it utilizes a USB-C to which you plug into your computer. That's pretty much hardware for like the standard version. Let's go take a look in my car real quick at what comes with the Pro version. When we talk about the Pro version of HP tuners, basically it's just an add-on that allows you to add on. So great example is our widebands. So it's basically just an interface that plugs into the little guy that I just showed you and allows you to, you know, utilize those and log those along with everything else that you already are logging. So basically this is what it is. 5 wires here, all different colored. Find out which ones to plug into, so I tied those in like so, and then like I said, this part plugged right into that interface. If you're really digging into it, if you're doing boost, if you're doing that kind of stuff, it's good to have something like this because you can log wideband. There's ways around it. Some people will tap into the PCM, which of course is right under here, under our driver's side dash. And if you do an EGR delete, you can utilize the wiring in that, in the sense that if you hook your wideband into the wiring that goes into the PCM, you can actually read it as EGR, and it'll have the same 0 to 5 volt parameter that a wideband does. So that pretty much wraps up HP tuners as far as the hardware. Let's go ahead and look at the software. So before we look at the software, I pulled up pricing real quick. So do your research when you're shopping, because I'm seeing different deals here and there. Now the number I'm seeing is $300 for the standard guy. Now the software is technically free. You get the link to download it. You're paying for the hardware. Now keep in mind, you need credits to get this to work to unlock your car. Typically it's 2 credits, I believe, through them for our cars. So $100. Do your research, look around, because I'm seeing some that are coming with some credits. So, you know, see what you can find. If you can find enough to get your car done, cool. If they come with bonus ones, even better. You're talking with this new one, they do universal credits, so whatever car it's capable of tuning, you can use those credits towards. Now for the Pro I'm seeing for $550, and it's not mentioning any credits. With the Pro, if you buy the standard, you know, and just do that for now, and then down the road decide, you know, you want to continue and go further with it, and you would like the Pro, you can buy it separate. The Pro feature, what they call it, I'm seeing for $250. So now we've seen pricing. Let's take a look at the actual software going on. All right, so this is the scanner, as they call it. So this thing really comes in handy, not just for, you know, say tuning for performance, but for diagnosing stuff. So basically, any parameter that's in your PCM, in our PCM, I guess, that can be read, you can pull up on here and watch it. A friend scan, just to show you how this is working. So as you can see things here, so you're seeing RPM, speed, injector duty, map sensor. Here, let's hit play here. And you can speed it up, you can slow it down, to, you know, if you have a hiccup somewhere. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff you can do here. So here, all kinds of stuff you can do, and this is free. You can hook this up to any car and do any amount of scanning you want for free. You don't have to license the car you're scanning. Over here too, you can do graphs, basically certain parameters against others. That's everything as far as the scanner. Here's a stock 01 Grand Am GT tune. For example, fans. Fan 1, so your low setting 223, high setting 232. That's an example of something. You highlight, and you know, say put 200. So it tells you, hey, you're different. So that's, you know, a good example of something. Here's the infamous speed limiter. GT cuts off at 126. Trans, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Transmission, your shift pressures, your timing, your torque converter lockup tables. You know, engine, there's a button. Quite a bit there. Not as much as most would want, but you can make things happen. That's your editor. Now as far as that goes, where the credits come in, so you can read, as soon as you buy this and you're using this, you can read any car all day long. You decide what you want to tweak. You save that as a new file. As soon as you go to hit flash and write vehicle, that's when it'll prompt you. It'll trigger with the VIN that you're not licensed to write that VIN. So you'll pay, you know, either use up credits that you have or pay the money, whatever, and voila, you license that VIN number. Some other things I want to point out. So this is the HP Tuner's website. They have what's called a repository. People that have done tunes and are nice enough to share them, you can find on here and use for, let's say, comparison. Also, people will share stock tune files in case you mess up and don't save yours. Basically, it'll tell you a little bit about it and what's done to it. In addition to that, you've got your forum. So there is a ton of information on there, but nothing specific to us. That's it for that. Let's move on to the DHP. So DHP, or digital horsepower, used to be a pretty big thing back in the day. My original black car actually came with a DHP Tune PCM. Here's what their hardware looks like. So it obviously reflects kind of that old age stuff. It uses serial. If you computer nerds know what that is. So OBD2 port, computer. They also did Pro features. They have the inputs for widebands and whatnot. This one I just got a regular version of it used. They don't exist anymore. Typically I see them go for 100, 200. Keep in mind, it's an open software, so you're not paying for doing the tuning. Drawback is the limiting factor, like we talked about with the OSID. If yours is not in the database, then you're not able to actually tune. DHP has their own software, so that's where you do your reading, writing, and you can do some of your editing there. There's a second program called Tiny Tuner that someone else came up with that has all those tables that I talked about that HP Tuners doesn't. So it's a really nice tool to have. Okay, so here's our software for DHP. It's called Power Tuner, and it's actually what goes hand in hand technically with, you know, the whole tuning thing as far as digital horsepower. With this program is where you do the reading and writing. The downfall is the reading and writing time is 5 to 10 minutes usually. It has its own scan tool. You know, you can take care of DTCs. Basic version, you don't get your graphs, but you can still take a look at, you know, what's in your PCM and calibrations. The same thing that we saw before. So let's say accessories, here's fans, but that's pretty much what that is. So here you can edit, save, and then write right back to your PCM. The Tiny Tuner I talked about, so this little guy, I saw there was, you know, some tables but not many on the DHP. So let's open up that same binary file just in Tiny Tuner. So right off the bat, you're seeing a lot more here, but here's more tables here, and it just keeps going. So, and lastly, this is called UV Scan. Basically, this is the equivalent of the scanner for HP tuners. So pretty basic, and it actually writes it as, I forget the actual, I think it's CSV. So basically, it's an Excel spreadsheet. Remember, all of this software is free. You just gotta find it, download it, get the DHP tuner, and utilize it. So with more tables comes a little more, I guess, headache. Take your time, ask the questions, do the research. You know, don't haul off and do all kinds of tuning one time. Do one little thing at a time. That way, if you have a problem, you can backtrack and figure out what's going on. That's where I've gotten so far with it. But that's it for this one. Hopefully there's some information to help you guys out. I'm not a pro, but if you have questions, let me know. I'll lead you in the right direction, whether I can help you, someone else can help you. So let me know about questions, and we'll see you on the next one.